so-called flying saucers.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. It's rotating.
Welcome to Kill the Stigma. Today we're going to be talking about a case with a fascinating video of a UFO and a witness who I think, to me, with my intuition, he seems honest. Now, this witness got vetted by Russ Coulhart probably over 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago or more. He has an interview with lehto, and honestly, the video, it was so good that it sparked a lot of controversy. And the debunk was pretty weak. I remember seeing the debunk and it wasn't the same at all. But the problem is the story of this guy got kind of weird. You know, he goes into things that you'll see what I'm talking about. Things got strange after that video. And it was kind of easy to say, But, you know, I was reading James Lakatsky's books. And the latest one, and there's a few cases where this happens, the things he's talking about. And I remember James Lakatsky saying, it's not just about the UFO incident. It's about everything that goes on after the UFO incident. And we don't really pay much attention to that, but I think we should. And I think we should look for patterns and see what's going on. Anyways, let me show you the video.
Oh, fuck. Fuck, it's gone.
You know, I was talking to Richard Dolan about this whole thing about being gullible. And he was telling me, you know, how it's very important for people to seem smart. And I get that. But look, it's not like you're getting ripped off for money or something like that, right? It's a UFO story, man. What? What? Seriously, what? Is it me? What's the big deal? Unless you're like, oh, let me pay $100,000 for that UFO video. It's amazing. Freaking. Then, bro, that's dumb. Like, I'm sorry. But, so what? You got me to believe in UFO. What? Who cares, man? I'm sorry. That's me. Look, at the end of the day, I don't know if that video is real or not, but if it is, I can imagine how insane that must have looked in person. Knowing how terrible UFO videos are, that must have looked insane. And the guy says it looked huge and he could see hieroglyphics on it and a bunch of stuff, and it's fascinating. And I'm going to leave the link down below so you can check out the whole interview. But, yeah, that must have been insane. The debunk, as I said, was really weak. It did not look the same at all. Somebody tried recreating it, and it wasn't... They couldn't do the lights the same way. If somebody knows where that is, please let me know. Because it was not satisfactory at all.
I've had stupid black four-wheel drive SUVs following me very close. They had no number plates on them. One came around, went in front of me and hit the brakes, and then they would just disappear. They would take off, and I'll be left with just two idiots driving like maniacs trying to run me off the road virtually, or have me hit them. So luckily I didn't have an accident. So, but quite a few other things have happened that are just completely out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
For what my life is at the moment.
Okay. So so as soon as you started this video, or at least showed it to your brother, you kind of noticed negative things starting to happen in your life, and you're happy now to
Yeah.
at least sharing it, to at least get the information out. You're hoping something will change. Let's hope.
I'm not sure if it will, because I made the video public a couple of days ago, and the night that I made it public, one of those black four-wheel drives was parked out the front of the place that I'm staying at the moment.
Really?
And it just sat there right behind my car, where my car was parked on the road, and I was out having a cigarette, just staring at it, and then it just took off. No reason for it to be there, 10, 11 o'clock at night. It's a quiet street.
Right.
We appreciate you sharing with us, Michael. I mean, like I said, the video is amazing. Thank you for taking the time and courage to speak out. Anything else from the video you wanted to relate while we're recording?
You want to know, just ask, and
Yeah.
if I can answer it, I'll answer it. But
Excellent.
like I said to you in the email when I first contacted you, these things that have been happening since I made the video public, or I first offered it to you, in the hopes that if everyone could see it, then these things would stop happening, because a lot of other things have happened. Like I've been evicted from my home, a lot of other personal things that have just all happened since I took the video. And my only reason I've done this, if it wasn't for these things happening to me, no one would see the video.
So here's the problem. The problem is the story of all the weird stuff that happened afterward, the black SUVs. So this is the problem. The problem is that he follows the story with all these events that sound insane. Except these events have happened before, multiple times, and it's one of those things where if it happens to you, you would be like either intimidated or not talk about it because of how insane it sounds. I guarantee most people that have these encounters don't talk about it. I guarantee, that's the objective of the people that intimidate. This goes way back, and we've heard the stories, they're in the lore. But the thing is, think about how many times these people are successful at their job, which is silencing. It's gotta be 90 something percent, like way up there. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. So what do? I made a whole video about the Men in Black, and it was kind of more in the woo side, and I pointed out some patterns of some stories. But what I came out with was that these mysterious either government agents or something even weirder have have two missions. It seems like they're doing intelligence on UFO. It's almost like there's a alien security system of some sorts, and there's like a law and order, and they're investigating the aliens that broke the law. I don't know. I know it sounds crazy, but then the other mission they have is kind of to keep humanity asleep to this by using high strangeness, things that sound so crazy that it immediately killed the story and its credibility. Immediately. It's too much. It's way too much. And I think it's pretty genius. And the thing is that these things keep coming up and coming up and coming up. And when do they show up? They show up with crashes, when there's like beings around, or maybe a really good video would fit, or things like that, you know. And you know, you can't ignore these things. They've been happening with the most important cases. 1997, Phoenix Lights. Kenneth Arnold, 1947. The 1950 picture that came out, and the flying disc. I mean, it just keeps happening and happening and happening. I don't mean to go on a tangent about this, but what do? I mean, this guy and his story didn't tell anybody about the story except his brother. And next thing you know, his phone is hacked. He's got cars. Imagine if that was true.
Heard about real serious visitation of these so-called, men in dark suits. And then I'd heard about it like a number of other times. I heard about it with the McMinnville, Oregon case. She got a visit. Then I heard about it with Rex Heflin. He had a visit with these guys in suits. With the 1966 UFO landing at Westall Primary School, science teacher named Mr. Greenwood, and then we found out he had a visit from men in suits, a General Parviz Jafari, and he told me, he was like, yeah, the next morning, like the encounter happened in the middle of the night. The next morning, a couple of men from the United States government, I don't know what agency they're from, they were there. Oh my God, here they are again.
God bless James Fox. God bless James Fox. Look, there's moments in this topic where you feel down. You're like, what is going on? You look at the community, you get disappointed, and then you see James Fox, and you're just like, yes. I mean, this guy just went back to Brazil. He's doing an update on the case, and it's such a refreshing feeling to finally see people working on cases instead of fighting about freaking Lou Elizondo or whatever is going on in Congress, or doxing this guy. I mean, we're not studying the phenomena. We're just investigating each other at this point, and just apologies for the tangent. Let's get back to the Chris Lehto interview.
Is he lying? Is he just some crazy person? I needed more help, right? So I contacted Ross Coulhart. Ross Coulhart is an award-winning journalist from Australia. I'll just read here. Ross Coulhart, Australia, is an investigative journalist, most recently for Australian news and current affairs program 60 Minutes on Channel 9. He was previously chief investigations reporter for the Sunday Night News program. Coulhart has won 5 prestigious Walkie Journalism Awards, including most coveted top award for Australian journalism, the Gold Walkley. He's done some pretty amazing stuff. Let's check this out. His broadcast television investigative journalism has also won the top broadcast award, a Logie. In 2010, his reinvestigation into the murder of 2 young Australian tourists by IRA terrorists 20 years earlier in 1990 revealed new evidence suggesting complicity in an attack by Irish Sinn Féin boss Gary Adams. In 2008, he uncovered one of the biggest ever medical scandals in Australia, the Butcher of Bega. It won Ross not only the Gold Walkley, but also the Walkley for Best Investigative Report. An expose of cronyism and impropriety in Australian Aboriginal legal services won Ross the 1996 Logie Award for Most Outstanding Public Achievement in Public Affairs. In 2002, Ross won the gold medal at the New York Film Festival for Best International Report with renowned filmmaker Max Stahl for an investigation into how Indonesian and militia killers in East Timor had gone unpunished for their crimes. He's co-author of 2 best-selling books, Dead Man Running and Above the Law. He also has In Plain Sight. That's a best-selling book as well about UFOs. Ross Coulhart, so happy to have his help, and he really brought just amazing professionalism to this case. He had a long chat discussion with Michael. He did his own public sources investigation and had a chat interview. So let's go through Ross's notes after his interview with Michael. Okay, so this is the sanitized email. Again, I've gone through and changed all the names and dates and made the ages a little bit off. Okay, the idea is you can't identify Michael, and the point of that is now we can give more information. We give more background information, okay, on the other two events, the other two stories. We can release all of the data that we have as long as it doesn't give away Michael's identity. And so I've gone to a lot of pain to make that happen. And so here is the email from Ross Coulhart. Hi, Chris. Okay, I've had a very long phone chat with Michael, and I have to say that I cannot find any good reason to disbelieve him. He took me through the 3 key incidences that define his UAP experiences. Number 1, when he was a 10-year-old on a houseboat on the Mayal Lakes and saw a glowing sphere orb. Number 2, when he was a 16-year-old in the same area, and he says he was taken onto a craft of some kind where he met 7-year-old Julie. And number 3, the incident in December in 2022. So Julie is the woman that was with him during the sighting. She was asleep in the tent. A few observations. Michael's highly intelligent, a high-functioning autistic man of 50 years age, divorced, father of children, one of whom is also severely autistic. I detect no guile or lying in his demeanor. I took him through certain key incidents multiple times, and his recall is precise. And he says he cannot remember when he cannot remember. Although I find him credible, I warn that it's always possible he's created this whole story to attract attention for some inexplicable reason. But I balance that with the fact that his autistic condition makes him fearful of crowds, and he has huge social anxiety. He told me he was shaking throughout our chat because he found it so difficult. He has nothing to gain by telling this story. And from the beginning, Ross has voiced concerns that an anonymous witness may have something to hide. Okay, so why is Michael wanting to be anonymous? Maybe he just makes these things up. He has some issue where he makes up crazy claims, UFO stories. Okay. Well, that being said, on the other hand, I talked with Ted Rowe, who's been investigating for 20 years, specifically in UFO encounters, and he says maintaining anonymity is the standard. Most people want to be anonymous, and you see after all the blowback on Twitter, etc., is you can understand. Okay.
Yes, I do understand, Chris. I do. I was surprised this guy came out with his story at all, but he was anonymous. But still, he wasn't anonymous to Ross Coulhart and to Chris. And Ross Coulhart was able to say, yeah, this guy's legend. And most of us, except my 2 friends that watch this, that are not into this topic deep, but they watch this, just so you know, Ross Coulhart is now in News Nation, which has been a channel that has gone way up in the last couple of years, especially. And they cover UFOs. But not only UFOs, actually, I follow News. I'm just going to be honest here. I follow News Nation for politics, for everything else, not just the UAP topic. Ross Coulhart is now working there. And yeah, I'm just going to applaud News Nation. And, you know, they have many other journalists. I think it's Brian Keaton, is that his name? He does great work on, he's doing now the Charlie Kirk investigation. And Chris Cuomo, I love Chris Cuomo. Chris Cuomo, I follow him for politics mostly. Nothing to do with UAP. So that's actually my favorite channel, go-to channel for other stuff, not just UAP stuff. And Ross Coulhart is now part of that. And I don't know. I think that puts a lot of weight onto this case. Because, you know, if this guy was full of BS, Russ will be able to sniff that out. So, yeah, that's all I got. I just wanted to share this story. I think it's fascinating. And I think we should do a little bit more of that, you know. There's a little bit of evidence there, like a video. And then there's, you know, strange stories that match patterns from other stories. Let's add it to our data. Like, this never got talked about again. They did the weakest debunk and it didn't get talked about again. And I don't know how this guy is doing. Like, if I had a wish, I wish Josh from Polarity, who's a freaking cool guy. I watch his show. He's from Australia. And I know he loves these stories and, like, he goes on his intuition whether the person is lying or not. If I had a wish, I wish, like, he would look into this. But whatever, it's all good. But yeah, that's all I got. Thank you.